Hey, everybody. Before we get in the show, you know what this is. This is another little, check out my special Thin Lips. It is available right now. The response has been great. The comments are great. I love the fan art. It's just been a really fun time. And if you haven't seen it, just check it out. And, tell me how you feel. Please don't be mean to me. You know what I'm saying. If you watch the special, you know what I'm saying. Really annoying of me tonight, but I'll tell you what. We've been recording all day, so I am losing my mind. So check out Thin Lips. It's available right now on my YouTube. Just click my little face right over here or here, and it should be the first thing you see on my channel. And share with a friend. That's huge. Please share it. Well, I love you. Let's get into the show.
The Rap Jack Black and Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rescued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the pod, an odd fellow, the great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Sagdaddy the Pod. You know what it is. It's Sagdaddy the sluggish man. You know what I'm saying? We're in the cat hair lair coming to you live. We got a great episode for you tonight. Went a little long with this one, and you know what? I don't care. I wanted to go long. Who knows? Ari Shaffir is here. Literally I said it on the show, but the man is a gun. The man is someone you bring, like a gun brought into the room. You know, there's kind of like a what's gonna happen? What's he gonna do? I smelled his belly button. I still smell it on me, and it's almost like. And I hope I don't have to move. I hope it's not a thing where when I see this living room, I smell it like it's some sort of like Pavlov's kind of thing. So we're just gonna get right into it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It's a great episode. We talk a little shop. I mean, you know how the show goes. We just kind of let things. It's a conversation. That's all I want. I know if sometimes we talk about shop. We talk shop a little too much, and people get a little like bored of it. But that's not all we talked about. So why am I even apologizing for it? Fuck you. If you got a problem with it, you know what I'm saying. So thanks for everybody for watching. If you're new here, stick around, subscribe, and let's just get right into it. Ari Shaffir, Sagdaddy the Pod, coming at you right now. What would your book be? Just little essays and stuff?
Short stories.
Short story. Made up or real?
I have an idea of going like back and forth between real ones and made up ones and changing like the main character's name to like slightly off,
Right.
like a version of me,
Right.
you know.
Right. Just
Always
making
with
it
stories
as
of like
confusing as
I'll
possible.
combine 2 trips into Thailand to one. Like that's not a lie.
Right.
It's changing things, but not like in a
Yeah.
"Oh, hold on, that didn't fucking happen.
Right. And you're not like, yeah, it's like you make it once, so you're not like, and then the second time I went to Thailand,
Yeah,
which would be, who cares?
yeah. It's another detail. If I have 4 characters in there, I'm like, I'm gonna kill these 2 characters. And just
Right.
have you guys have all the lines.
Do you read books?
No, I should.
I have no fucking interest in books at all.
I think I finally got to start just accepting that I'm not the English major I was.
Were you an English major?
Yeah, and I want to read like Fitzgerald books and stuff, and I'm like, I should just read like a Nick
Did you have a
Foles,
minor?
Nick Foles autobiography. What?
I'm an audiobook guy.
Yeah, I fucked a few minors, but not in this country.
Hey, there you go.
Audiobook, yeah, I got to get into those. It's like,
What's
just accept it. Just you
Yeah.
actually read it if you.
I like hearing people
Mhm.
read their books.
If they read it themselves, like Joey Diaz did his own.
Yeah.
So much richer than reading it. You know, 'cause it's got
Yeah.
that
It's like
character.
that cocksucker. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I heard one that someone was listening to, and it was like the intro was by the author,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "All right, now we'll have a professional." do it."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Britney Spears did that.
Yeah, and it's like, now that she was like cooler than the.
Yeah, I'd
paper.
rather hear Britney Spears talk. Also, that book, I don't know, did you listen to it? Did you read it? Nuts. Britney Spears is a fucking psychopath.
I thought she was There was one time where I like got her.
What do you
She
mean?
cut her hair off,
Oh,
and she was seeing all the paparazzi looking at her and like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm out. This world sucks. You're driving me
I love that.
fucking insane, and I'm literally cutting off my hair.
yeah,
I'm destroying my beauty,
yeah,
and I see you guys filming it. I'm done with all of you.
right.
I don't want to do this. And then she got pulled back in, but like,
Damn,
Yeah.
that you know what? When I was reading or listening to the book, rather,
mhm.
there was a lot of times where I like felt her on that, but then there was some time like she has a line in that book where she goes, she was driving with she moves right past it too. She goes, I was driving with a friend of mine who was a photographer, and I just started to kind of lose it. And we're driving around the hills, so I started driving as fast as I can, and we almost fell off. And then when we stopped and we skidded out of the way and everything stopped and we were parked, I turned to him and I went, we almost just died. And then it takes like a second and he goes, when I got back to my house, and she never mentions it again.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah, she was.
I was like,
They
that's-
Winehoused her.
yeah, and then when that book came out, everybody was like, "Poor Britney."
Yeah, free
poor
Britney, free Britney, and then she was free.
Britney.
We're like, ooh, actually, you should.
Yeah,
be
why don't you reel it in? Yeah, you go.
It's like,
They go, yeah, they're like, the government was wrong again
yeah,
to you
wanted
guys,
her to be the
huh?
girl who was like in a psych ward, but like, I'm not crazy. They just won't let me out.
Yes,
But like, oh, actually, no, you actually are
which
fucked.
never ever happens. Every time
It's
you,
just a movie.
anytime you go to a fucking chick's apartment and she's got those like grippy socks, you know what I'm
Grippy-
talking about, like the
no.
grippy,
Grippy sucks.
grippy. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, like the socks they give you at the hospital. Get the fuck out. But what do you get from a book nowadays? I mean, do you get any money? I mean, what would you even? What could be like the?
Have people read it. Also, I'm gonna do this thing like the joys in the work.
Oh, you know the joys of a book. You have people read it.
Um,
You got a way about you, man.
I'll do if it's stories. I can try them on stage until they're really good. So I had to write it for this writing workshop.
Yeah.
That guy in Paris, and I was dying laughing at mine, and it was like, yeah, I'm cheating. I've done
Right.
the story on stage like a bunch of times. I wrote it, and he's like, it's too long. What you're doing is on stage good.
Right.
It's on the page is way different.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's
can't
what I
do,
was gonna
like,
say.
asides and then come back. That works on stage.
Yeah.
In a short story, you're like, wait, where are we now? So now we're not in Paris.
I mean, the asides do kind of work, but you do have to be like,
Yeah, it reminded me of this
Cut
one time I was in
to-
Ireland. I did the
yeah,
but
and
it's
you
like,
have to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And also, when you're talking on stage, there's a lot of personality with it. And
I
that's
had to
not
learn
gonna
how to
come
write
through
in
in the fucking-
personality.
Yeah. Speaking of cheating and like stand up and stuff, when I was in college, I went to summer school and they were like, okay, we're going to do like a speech about blah, blah, blah. And I just somehow was able to do my act like that. At that point, I was doing stand up and I had an act and I just did my act and it killed.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, you're so funny when you do your speeches, blah, blah, blah. And the next speech, I couldn't do the jokes because it was part of my act. And I just bombed every speech after that because
Wow.
I was like,
Set
they weren't
the
worked out or
expectations so high.
anything. Yeah.
I was in some film classes and also some like English classes. And one of the movies we looked at was Shortcuts. This I forget the name of the director. It was based on a book by Raymond Carver. What we talk about when we talk about love. So I'd already done all the stuff for the movie,
Yeah.
and the book was pretty close to the movie. And then I was like, boom, boom, boom. Like, damn, great
Right.
insight.
You know, that class that I was in, the speech class,
Yeah.
there was a girl named Veronica something, and she was like, Veronica. She was like super into me.
Oh,
And I was
unbelievable
obviously,
story.
I was just, what'd you say, you son of a bitch?
Kind of a
She really was.
reach.
I know when someone's into me. I said everybody. I know when someone's into me, you know? Like we would flirt and all that stuff, but I didn't know how to pick up women. So at this time, I was like a year or two into comedy. I had comedy cards that essentially was me basically like back to back with a microphone. I mean, it wasn't that, but it might as well have been that.
Yeah.
And at the end, just throw that anywhere. The last class when she was like, okay, well, bye. And I obviously
Waiting.
there was like well, give me your number. I went, hey, if you ever want to like keep in touch. And I gave her the comedy
Business
card
card,
and
yeah.
I saw just the look of like cringe on her face when I gave that
Give me
card.
a number.
Because the card said I gave her a number of me this is the card. It was me doing stand up, really silly like.
Yeah.
Being like, and then it said, telling jokes since 1991, giving out cards since just now
Ugh.
was the card. Yes, big
Ew.
Yes, I know it's and ooh. Okay, you don't need to rub it in, half face.
Yeah.
You look like Hitler from here, like
Oh, yeah,
because
that
I
peeks
can't
out, right?
see,
That
I
peeks
can't
out.
see the whole thing, but all I see is just this, dude.
I'm having so much fun on stage. I enter this way, so and I know the crowd doesn't know, and so I'm just like, I put my drink down like extra long, and my thing, and like, how you guys doing? Okay, so we're and they're like, what the fuck?
That's fun too because it depends. The face that they see depends on what side of the stage you enter.
Yeah, the
on.
seller, it's like they're getting a different show.
Yeah, you're getting so this is a clean cut guy
Yeah.
at the stand, and then at the cellar you're.
Katie Hannigan said I look like a Jew and the man who victimizes him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love a nice classic roast joke of you look like the guy and then the da 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 the person who fucks him
Of the
or
roast joke
whatever.
formats.
Yeah,
And they go, thank you, fat Batman or whatever.
I hate
and then
it.
you start, it's a double thing. They all started doing it.
I hate it. Do you do roasts anymore? You do anything like
I
that?
did once. I did one against Big J.
Oh, you did the Big J roast.
No, roast battle.
Oh, you did a roast battle
Yeah,
against
and I
Big
did
J?
Lewis roast, Big J roast. It might have been it. The roast battle against Jay.
Was it good?
I won, but I mean,
At
he
what
wrote all his
cost?
jokes. I had help with all mine.
Right. You have like
Um,
Scott Chaplin or whatever write your jokes or
Yeah,
whoever.
a bunch of LA comics, but
Yeah. So fucking lame. Did you do it on TV?
no, it was at the Gramercy when they're trying to sell the show to Comedy Central.
God damn. I hate all these like themed shows and shit. I hate like
So much prep.
I'm such a dick in that way where I'm like, I really don't like crowd work. I really don't like roast battles. Especially I think roast battles are so cringy because it's the same thing every time.
It's so much the same.
There you
Where it's
go.
like,
Thank you, half face, for
Yeah.
being here. Thanks
Yeah.
for taking time out of being a fucking Jew to be here right now.
yeah,
And then they go, you look like an idiot fucked a bald guy.
yeah.
And the whole
So-
thing.
That's why I
you know?
love naked roast battle is because the judges are like, you can't prepare for the look of someone's dick.
Right.
So and some of them are really bad.
Yeah.
And then so they have jokes about you. You're
Yeah.
standing there naked, but I have a joke about your mom killing herself or something like that. And then the
Right.
judge is just like, bro, your dick is fucking pointed in a fucking to the moon or something. It's just like whatever you want to do. And
Are
it's
you
almost like, why are you guys ignoring this? He's got a fucking innie outie dick.
Yeah, dude. Those naked roast battles are so funny too because when you're naked in front of people, your dick is so small. So it just hides when people don't shave their pubes, it
Yeah.
just hides in their pubes.
I used to at the Comedy Store a long time ago. It was like young regular. We would do these things called cockings. First start with that, where I just try to rest my dick and balls on like somebody's arm. Almost only men.
Sure.
But yeah, we'd get someone else to distract. They'd see the look in my eye, and my friend Jim's Painter, he was like, what's that billboard across the street? What is that? And then they'd be like, well, I don't know. And so I could just come up and just
That's
like,
great.
and when you
Oh,
feel something
God.
down, and you're just like, the last thought is it's a pubis.
Yeah.
And so then it's just like,
so they
what
go
the-
like this. They go like that.
yeah, and they go, ah!
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. And then we went from there to just me just having my dick out. So we had a foosball table in the green room upstairs in the belly room, and I would just come in. But I try to be hard. It was funny or hard.
Yeah.
Generally, it's funny or soft.
Yeah.
But when you're laughing, you can work it up as much as you want on the corner. Concentrate on a woman,
No
and then
way.
you're laughing how ridiculous it is, and it's like, whoosh.
Yeah, it immediately goes
Yeah.
down. When you do because you judge the naked roast battles.
yeah,
Another
Yeah,
time when you
before.
come out and shock people because your schlong is fucking huge.
not much soft. You want to see it?
No. And I know you're ready to take it out, but
If you need it, I'm
no,
here for you, buddy.
no, because one, Nicole's here, and no, because
Nicole's
I'm
not
here.
here. Disagree.
Not happening. Don't.
No.
No way. Not happening. But
Like a Wild West.
has anybody ever been? I know, and that's the
My
thing
balls are
about
huge.
comedy. Like, how bad right now do you want to whip your dick out?
How bad? Yeah.
So bad. Please don't. Please
Talking to people
don't.
about how many today about like some like sketchy whatever character guy for a podcast and Matan and I'm like, I will do stuff to spite myself if it's funnier, and I've done it so many times.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, damn, fuck, this is good. Or if you really get me on a thing, I'm like, nah, that was fucking solid.
Have you ever seen somebody when you're doing the roast battle, like trying to get hard while like trying to like pull?
Yeah,
Is that illegal?
Earl Skakel, naked roast battle won when I poured a fucking cup of piss in Zach and Miko's face.
Oh yeah, classic.
Classic one. And I mean, yeah.
Damn, dude, I love
I
seeing
pissed into
joy
a
on your
cup.
face.
I pissed into a cup just like this will be funny.
Yeah,
And then I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Everyone's like, "Ah, you're crazy! You're pissing publicly in front of us." You know?
Sure, crazy.
And I pissed into a cup, and then I was like, okay. Oh shit! I got a cup of piss. It was like a new moment. It's like when you put a gun down, like that gun's in the scene always.
Dude, yeah. It's like becoming president. It's like running to become president, thinking you're gonna lose, and then you win, and you're like, oh fuck, now I'm president.
So exactly.
Now I know. Now I've got so much power.
I know if they I know about the aliens. They so I had this cup of piss, and I'm just like, and I looked at the crowd. I was gonna like maybe throw it in the crowd.
That'd be crazy.
I thought briefly drink it, but I'm like, nah, it's not my thing. And then I looked at Zach, and he looked at me, and with his eyes, he just goes like, and he's got like staples in his head.
Like,
yeah, he didn't nod. He just looked at me, just all eyes. We did this sometimes. This chick was bugging me yesterday at the cellar.
Yeah,
and I was like, And I'm sitting down, and then Caitlin Palouf was across, and it was 1 second of like,
there's nothing better than
like,
catching eyes with somebody.
This sucks, and she's like, with 1 second, it's like, oh, sorry about this, what you're going through. It's like, she's crazy.
Yeah, nothing better than catching eyes with somebody.
So I caught eyes with Zach, and with his head at all, just with his eyes, he's just like, do it.
Yeah,
it's the right thing. It'll be funny. Do it.
That's so
and I fucking
funny,
poured
man.
it. And usually when you throw water out of something, it can go any direction. This was perfect. Piss. He had staples in his head, so he had blood coming out, and it mixed with the blood.
Oh my god, it must have stung so much.
He wanted it. Now, you ask him the next day, and he goes, "That's not at all what I was saying with my eyes. I was saying, what are you doing with my eyes?"
I was going, "Don't do it, don't do it." Well,
but
you
he was
really
also like,
like,
it was the right move, but God did not consent to that at all.
Well, you know that you have a like you are a gun. Like if somebody like when you walk in a room, there is a vibe of like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
I decided to commit to stand up, and then for a podcast, it's like, well, let me do something wild in these.
Right, and I don't want to say this now because I'm very aware that if I say this, it can go backwards, and you'll fucking kill my cat or something. But I've had to, as your friend, like learn that you're a person that isn't gonna fuck with somebody all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's no fun.
Where it's like, oh, he's in my house and I'm okay with it.
Right.
Whereas, who knows, maybe a couple of years ago, I'd be like, if he's in my house, he's gonna like rub his dick on the window.
There's limits to, like, I was at Bobby Kelly's house and I pissed in a water bottle and I put it in his fridge. I generally know the line, but you gotta like test it. He goes, "Oh fuck, dude, my wife could have seen it, my kid could have seen it," and it's like they didn't know. And then every once in a while, I'd be like, "That went too far. I didn't care for that at all." And it's like, all right.
What's the farthest you've gone? You think
it's always in the eye, like, you know, when you have a good joke on stage and it works well, and then and it's a dark joke, and then if the crowd doesn't laugh, it's just like that's the terrible thing to say because you take out the humor. If somebody gets mad at a prank, well, then it's not funny. Well, then it's like, how could that ever be funny? Like, if you had laughed, it would have been funny.
Yeah, there's definitely an art to it where you're like, you have to be cool with this or else it's not funny.
Yeah, some of it's picking the right person or the right thing. Like when I gave Bert that fucking Molly, like, you wouldn't have done it to Rogan. I'm like, no, Rogan doesn't party like that.
Right, Rogan would flip the fuck out.
Get drunk fucking 8 times a week.
But also, that's kind of funny too, to do that to someone that doesn't party like that. Would you get distracted by the horns out there?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Highly reactive. So Skakel on that roast, he's down and he's got to stand up once in a while, and so the table's in front of him, and he's just kind of like doing this the whole time, like trying to get it hard in case he has to stand up.
And you're sitting next to him?
Sitting next to him, it's fine, whatever. But what he doesn't know is there's no tablecloth on the table. It's one of those fold out tables. So the crowd just sees just a line and just sees him fucking stroking it the entire time. Dude. He thought it was under the table, so it's fine. But they're all that way.
Oh my God. I can't believe that. I can't believe that when that happens, there aren't like these fans in the audience that are...
We can see you stroking your dick.
Right, or even just being like... Because Feehan will do it. She'll come out naked. Like, how are people not like, I have to jerk off right now?
Well, it's a casual nudity. It's like you don't do it at strip clubs, and they're trying to turn you on.
I need that tone of "I'm nuts" to get the fuck out of here.
You can just
I
cut
need
someone's
that.
legs. Like, well, that's not what they do.
Yeah, dude. I'm like trying to be funny too. You're like, well, that would never happen because, oh yeah, because people don't jerk off to someone casually.
I saw a Rogan clip, not a clip, but someone doing an impression of him.
Yeah,
and it was like
I saw that
doing
too.
all 3 characters, and he was like, "Yeah, how many kittens could you like eat before you're like full?" And he goes, "Well, actually, I don't know. Could you eat a kitten? Maybe look that up." He goes, "I don't know. Dude, I don't think you'd eat a kitten. I think it might be bad for you." The guy's like, Yeah. I mean, I was
Has Joe always been like
just
that?
gonna get a
Because you
kid.
guys are old friends.
No, off stage, he's always for the laugh.
Oh, but on the
On-
podcast, he's
yeah,
like,
he'll have just done two scientists, and then he gets to a comic and he's in serious mode. And like,
Yeah.
dude, this is all ridiculous.
does he know that?
Yeah,
he's got to
does.
know that
Yeah,
about himself,
he knows.
right?
Yeah, and then so every once in a while he'll like, so like when we were the first Protect Our Parks we did, and it was like he was talking to someone about the fucking ancient aliens and land building pyramids or something like that, and he starts into something I've heard 100,000 times, and then Norman just goes, and there was a moment where he looked,
That's great.
and he could have been like, "Fuck man, don't
Right.
cut someone's legs out like that,"
right.
but he was like, "All right, it's pretty boring,"
yeah.
and it
yeah.
was like game on for 12 episodes.
Another one of those things that is like so risky to do, and the when it works out,
Yeah.
the riskiness, because you could be like, I don't know if he knows me like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
Do
if
they
he's
know, like ball busting. Like, do I know you?
exactly, because ball busting can get really. Which when I started I thought that's what we do. You know, because I was like
you don't
listening to
know
O
who
and
it's,
A.
and you're like, oh, Voss, I'll fuck with him. And
Yeah.
he's like, dude, I don't even know you.
Yes, and it's so infuriating when a comic comes by and they're like calling
they're
me
not good
fat
at
or
it.
whatever. Yeah, and you're
Your
like,
shirt sucks. And you're like,
you go,
what?
You go, great. Yeah, it hurt my feelings so bad.
Yeah. Those ball busts.
And what's the grossest thing you've ever done to anyone? Don't say rape.
Let me think then. You put a question out there, you get an answer, then you
I
have to
took
sidetrack.
my answer. I don't know. Oh, you know what? The shit in the box.
Shit in
I
the box
think.
is in the list.
Shit in the box. It was so funny, dude. And that's why I'm saying you're like a gun, because we had Feidelberg.
Big J's birthday party. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. But wait, at Big J's birthday party? Was
Yeah.
this with the box thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what you just, because I don't know
What
much
were you
about
gonna
it.
say, Feidelberg?
Feidelberg came in before you, and I was like, oh yeah, Ari's coming in next. And he's like, are you not like scared? What did he say? Didn't he say something like that? He's like, are you not
fucked up his
scared
phone.
that
He went out and I took his phone and I put it in my ass crack or my balls or something. I don't know. And then later he was like, yeah, I had to get a new phone. I was like, oh no,
I had
just
to
clean
get a
it.
new phone.
Just take a
yeah.
wet wipe to
What
it.
are you talking about? I
And
wouldn't
I'm like,
even
oh,
wet
now I
wipe
feel
it.
bad.
Yeah, he had to get a $900
Yeah,
phone.
for Kill Tony at the forum, they were like, Adam Ray was on there as Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And so I come out with a Kobe jersey on that cut a hole in it with my dick through the hole at the forum where he played. And so I come out there, and right before I come out, I'm in the back because you go up the steps towards whatever. It's this big production.
Yeah.
And they go, oh shit, Adam needs his phone. One of the ring card girls they have. He's like, I'll bring him his phone. I was like, oh, I'll get it to him. I'm like, really? I'm like, I'm going up. And it's like, oh, okay. And then took it. It's like, where are your pockets? I'm like, you going? And then just put it in my ass and clinched and just like deep in there. And then I'm up there going whatever. Post Malone is there. Tim Dillon's there.
Yeah.
I talk to Phil, Tony, and I make fun of all of them. Like, what in LA? Fucking. I just go big for those things and play a
Right.
heel. But it was like methed out Inglewood, like for Post Malone. I was like TV doctor, and Tim, I was like, and a fat faggot. And, what an LA. And then I was like, just walking around and then I was like, oh, hey, Dr. Phil. Here, I forgot. I gotta give this to you. And he was just like, oh, it's still warm. And I could have seen him going, what the fuck, man? But he didn't.
Right.
He was cool. He was like,
And that was his phone?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be on that side too. I'd be on the side of the bit. But
Yeah, it's
don't-
like,
you
I
know.
hate that had to be me, but it had to be done.
Right, and it had to be done, and I'm sure. Now, does your ass smell? Are you like
Belly button smells.
Your belly button
Don't
smells?
smell it?
No,
Smell it.
no,
Not just put your finger on it and smell the finger.
no. I'm
I'll
not going to do
too.
it. No,
Cool.
no.
Smell my finger.
I'll smell your finger. Although I don't like this. I don't like this
do
about
it.
comedy.
Don't do it, man.
I don't like this
Do you
about
lean in?
comedy.
I'm
Everybody
not.
thinks you're supposed to be
gonna throw up.
jackass. All right, come here. I'll smell it. I'll smell it. Oh, you got to get a new batch.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad today. And that's
the kind of smells like my belly button, to be honest. Yeah, that was disgusting. Not too bad though.
so shit in the box
Christ,
is pretty
it was like
good.
Smelling salts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be one of those things where for the rest of this episode, I'm going to be trying really hard
Hands
not
on
to
smells?
throw up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
If you threw up off it, it'd be great.
please, Jesus Christ.
Any,
Well, you need to wash your hands now.
no, what are they called? Hand sanitizer?
I just threw hand sanitizer away. Go into
Yeah,
the bathroom.
COVID's not
and
coming
wash your-
back. I just finally decided.
Nicole's like, oh great, he's touching my mics with that finger.
Sorry, Nicole.
We'll clean it.
I know he's capable of much worse
Yeah, that's
with a
not that bad.
podcast set,
Oh my
so it's
God,
fine.
dude, that smelled so bad.
Yeah. It's
Why?
weird. I don't
Have you
know.
ever been to a doctor about that?
Yeah, he's like,
He's just like, it smells bad.
rot. It's like
Oh,
real rot. It's gone now.
all right,
Smell tobacco.
all right,
Um,
all right.
yeah, I got Jay. It was his birthday party show. So I was like, I gotta
Oh,
do
yeah.
something fun and crazy. And so I got him a new Avenged Sevenfold album. I know he likes Avenged Sevenfold. It's his favorite band. Which he laughs at, but he goes, I know you're joking. I do like them. They're not my favorite band, though, but I do like them a lot.
Yeah, he's got sevenfold vibes.
Yeah, so I was like, how do I get in something terrible? And I was like, I want to shit in a box and say, this is the new Avenged Sevenfold signed album.
Where'd you get the box?
Glad you asked. Home Depot. It's a tackle box. I needed it smell proof.
Yeah,
So, but it was clear. I could only find a clear one. It was last minute. If I had like a month to plan, it
right.
was last minute. So I found a clear one, and then I wrapped the inside and outside with wrapping paper. Because I didn't want him to open up the wrapping paper and then see it through.
But shit smells, dude. Like,
Not in this smell. It was a waterproof box, also smell proof
whoa.
for a tackle box.
Did you when you, because this was at the creek, right?
Yeah,
Did you come in an Uber? Did you get in a cab?
it's a great question.
I'm really great at questions.
Took the subway
Okay.
and was hoping I got robbed. I mean, mug me, please mug me for my thing.
Yeah, you
And
took
had
an
this
Uber
nice birthday
uptown.
present. Yeah, Subway. It was great. So, and I had it there on the table for. I mean, it was 2 hours back then.
Dude.
For an hour 50. Ron is there. Ron Bennington.
Yeah.
Michael Che's in the other room drinking, in the
Yeah.
pinball room, and
It's a who's who of who shit.
yeah, I'm trying to think.
shit.
I think Mickey Gall might have been there.
Yeah, Mickey Gall.
Yeah,
Forgot about
I
Mickey.
think, and definitely the Skanks, and it's just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. We all talk, do all these other things.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there, and then finally it's
Now,
like, what about my birthday
And that's
present?
the
I
that's
don't
one
wanna
of the
push it.
best
I don't wanna push
parts.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go. I have this thing,
I know it's coming
and
when
the
it's
more
right.
time that goes by, the funnier this is.
The more the
because
misdirect.
they're gonna be like, you've been sitting with that this entire time.
Yeah,
Because any amateur with a shit in the box
Hey,
is like,
hey, boom.
give this,
Yeah.
throw it at them. Yeah,
you
exactly.
gotta wait for the moment.
So you put it in a tackle box. You wrap the tackle box in cellophane. Did you put?
no,
did you?
wrapping paper on the inside, wrapping paper on the not wrapping paper like that. I mean,
Now-
like birthday wrap.
Was the shit? Was it one shit?
One shit, I put a sock in there and I shit on the sock. So I shit on a sock, and that is the Avenged
Did you?
Sevenfold
You
album.
shit?
And then Jay's like, "You shit in a box." I'm like, "I maintain it was the Avenged Sevenfold album. I dare you to tell me the difference. I know it seems like shit on a sock,
Did
but
you-
I think it's Avenged Sevenfold. That's their normal stuff.
Did you have to lean over the box, or did you?
I don't think. Let me think. I don't think I scooped it out of the toilet and put it on there. Yeah, I think I squatted. I think I'd already been to Asia doing a lot of squat shit, so I was ready for it.
Oh my god!
And
Nothing.
it's just one of those like,
Nothing funnier than something that's so fucking crazy and funny, and you're alone and you're shitting.
prepping.
And you're kneeling, you're squatting, laughing,
Yeah.
being like, "This is gonna be so fucking funny."
I saw some guy at the Forum Green Room
yeah,
talking to Tim Dillon while I was doing it, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just prepping for comedy, man." Did
Yeah.
not know it was Ted Sarandos, the president of Netflix. Somebody talked to me because I thought it was a fake dick. I didn't understand. I probably would not have done that around a major money guy.
that's so fucking funny.
Just never met him
you're
before.
just standing there with your cock out.
I'm like, who's the Normo?
yeah, you're like, "What's up, suit?" Hey, suit.
Hey, soup.
So wait, what happened with the not? I mean, obviously the lowest form of conversation is remember when, but
Yeah.
I need to know everything about this box shitting thing.
So it's in there. It's in there. We do a bunch of other stuff. People say happy birthday. Ron Bennington has his fucking 3 glass he has on all the time for
Right.
no reason.
Right.
Multiple shades.
Everybody's being incredibly nice to Jay. You mean the world to me, Jay. You're one of the funniest comics to live on this planet.
Joining
to
in.
do
True.
it.
Yeah, he's got a good point. Box.
Yeah. You go, "We really love you so much." Box, 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 box. Box full of shit. Box full of shit. Box full
And
of
then
shit.
towards the end, it's like, oh, all right. What about this present?
Oh, that's the fucking
Yeah,
best,
if
dude.
they
You go, "Okay, well, we're done." Someone goes, "Oh, what about the box?" You go,
Oh, yeah. Well, Jay, I know it might have been his 40th, even. It might have been a big one. And I was like, I know you love Avenged Sevenfold. and
You have
I
a
reached
tell,
out.
though.
Sometimes.
You have a tell. I mean, in this case, I think you have a tell.
How so?
Because I think the minute you mentioned that it was the Avenged Sevenfold and you were being very sincere,
Yeah.
like there are jokes into actually getting him the Avenged Sevenfold album, but you were staying away from that. You weren't going like, yeah, I don't know what to get you. I'm a fucking idiot. So I made this Avenged Sevenfold. Like, you were going, so I got you this Avenged Sevenfold box. I think the minute you give him the box.
It might have been in the card. Like, I know you like Avenged Sevenfold, so
right.
And there comes out, I got you something special. I don't know. And every once in a while, also, it is funny just to do a very serious, emotional, like. And I do this thing a lot where I'm like, you ever see one of these?
What? Let me see.
Oh
yeah. That's so funny. Where you go, I got you something. Fuck
and
you.
I get Sal 40 times in a row, and then I'm reaching for tea. I was like, "Is this tea you want?" He goes, "You're about to pull out a finger, and it's just a box of tea." I was like, "Fuck!"
He's the best guy to do that to too, because he's so happy. He's so I love gifts.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, another friend is thinking about me."
I just do it by the retainer. I without people knowing. I'm like, "Pick a hand," and they'd be like, "That one." I'm like, "Nope, nothing." And they're like, "Hold on." Pick a hand. And I'm like, "That one." I'm like, and I throw it to them. They catch them. Like,
oh, that's so
They're
gross.
so ready
dude.
for something good. But so it's sitting there. Yeah, maybe it's a tell. And eventually we open it up, and Jay unwraps the wraps. He's wrapping it inside. He says he's like, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And then opens it, and remember in Scooby Doo where they scream into a bottle and plug it?
yeah. You open it up, and
The
little
smell
ghost
that
comes
came out
out
of there. Shay said, out that little garage thing they built out and into the bar. He was like, "What the fuck?" Like, he smelled it out there,
dude.
People
and that is
cleared
not
out.
a black guy thing.
No,
Black
they hate
guys
it. They hate
do
funny
not-
nudity.
They hate gay shit. They hate
gay
shit, and they hate nudity and shit.
Yeah, it was just the place clear. Ron left, Mickey Gall left. I am crying laughing. Like the best laugh. I couldn't even move. Just like
and you're
shaking.
kind of alone with it.
Yeah.
Was anyone else laughing as hard as you?
I don't remember. I was so lost in it. I was so lost in it.
Yeah, you don't even do things for the joy with other people.
Yeah, it's like, if you enjoy, sure, but I'm just like, DeRosa just did a special.
Yeah.
And I went. It was in Phoenixville. And I went down there and said hi for the second show. Saw him before. And then he was like, afterwards, like, all right, that was done. And then applause. I was like, I want to thank a few people. Like, Q's here. Steve Byrne came down here just to open.
Right.
Flew himself out, put himself up. And Steve's in the back. Show's over. So he's like, no, we didn't discuss no money. We just got making jokes.
Right.
And then he goes, Ari, because I told him, like, he was going to do it, like, 2 years ago. And he was like, no, I've worked on it for like 3 months. And I was like, he's like, you haven't seen it. I'm like, dude, 3 months? I don't have to. So he was like telling me that. He was like, Ari was doing this, he was like the one's like, oh yeah, he did an impression. I was like, oh yeah, you're the one that can get it done in 3 months. You're the one. And so I worked on it more and but I'm staring at him.
Yeah.
The crowd's there. I've got this haircut and I'm staring at it. I'm just like crying and like laughing. And he was like, I was trying to get emotional. I'm like, first of all, I'm not interested in that. And then I'm like, thanks a lot, Joe. I really do. And knowing that they don't have any idea and they're about to see this thing, it's like, that's really fucking great, man. And they're just like,
dude, that must have fucking
but just
killed.
smirking and crying at what I know is coming.
Oh, that's the best. There's nothing better than the waiting for a punchline feeling where you're like, this is going to be so funny. When you shaved your head like that, did you use like a ruler or something? Because it's perfect.
Pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Did
Did anyone do that for you?
I did it myself.
Went to a barber?
A little bit here comes into the left, just a touch.
It looks good.
But thank you.
Are you trying to like start something here or?
Well, I meant to do it for a day for an Are You Garbage show, live show at the Gramercy. And I was like, I'll do that. I have to cut my hair anyway, so I'm like, let me just do this.
All right.
And then went down, met for Sam Morrill's birthday party first, and I showed up in a weirdo, like New Orleans suit. Norman's there, and he's like, what is all this? What's this? I'm like, for the Are You Garbage show. And he's just dressed like you.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm on that show. I'm not doing anything. And I go, yeah, but you have jokes. I'm not a good comedian.
Yeah, like,
Mark. I need to do fake shit.
How sick of trying punchlines are you that you're like, I'm just going to wear a funny suit and shave half of my face.
Yeah.
And that should be enough.
That should be plenty. Get a laugh to start.
Yeah, dude, I saw you after that and you were wearing a like full on like tie dye or something.
That's a New Orleans suit. Oh,
yeah. Or the New Orleans suit. I saw you at the stand after.
That night?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you get shit like that? Thrift stores?
Off the rack at a thrift store in New Orleans, and it fit like a glove.
Yeah,
and I was already like, "Ooh, this is
like
badass." One of those it looked like a '90s thing with the squigglies and neon. Like
that's so cool. Yeah, you look like.
And then I was like, "Wow!" Not even like I have to move this in. It was just like
you look like the host of HQ. Remember that? Remember HQ? That
It's a
little
shopping
trivia.
network.
No, the trivia game. Everybody was on their phones and stuff.
Um,
Oh my god, what is that?
it's Turkish bagel.
Where'd you get that?
Huh?
You just carry that around? Do you do stuff like that all the time? You carry around food?
No,
That's what I say when like you're a gun. Because the minute you started taking something out, I was like, oh great. Now my apartment is gonna smell like
Please don't be a dead bird.
cat. Yeah, dude, I was just about to say like a cat carcass in in your back pocket. Yeah. Please don't be a dead bird is so funny. You go- yeah, that's Ari. Usually you're thinking, please don't be a dead bird when he's around. What now? Why have you always been like this? Why do you do this?
What? Like what? Honestly, a lot of times when I get in trouble for something, I'm like, I didn't even think it was on the line.
Right,
I wasn't like, ooh, there's a risk.
right.
One time, Mitzi Shore, the owner of the comedy store, was a door guy, and I drive her back home sometimes. Took a shine to me.
Yeah.
But she said something about the Aspen Comedy Festival versus the Montreal Comedy Festival.
Mhm.
Both are kind of gone now.
Right.
But she goes, oh, Aspen is, Montreal is where people do business, and Aspen is where people go to cheat on their wives. All the agents cheat on their wives. And I was like, with you? And she
Dude.
was just like, and it was that second of like
Oh
you're
my
way out of
God.
line look, and then to get the laugh was like such a hard fought laugh. It was like,
God,
whoa,
that
I
is
risked a
so
lot.
fucking awesome.
But I knew I was on the line that one.
It's like, yeah, but when you go over the line, and I'm not talking about you, but just generally,
yeah,
if I go, like, if my friend is texting me something about like his wife divorcing him,
yeah.
and there's a joke there, you gotta say it, and it's just like I have to say it, and whatever is the fallout is the fallout. But you are like you're like what comedians are gonna be in like the year like 3000, where words and jokes are gonna be so old fashioned and taboo that it's now like you have to prank people and you have to.
I have
like,
some rules. I have some moral rules to it.
yeah.
No, first of all, no physical or monetary damage to the victim.
What about Bert?
Physical
damage?
None. To be honest, none.
None.
No physical.
Might
damage.
actually have been better
They're
for
like,
him.
could have something could have happened. I love when people go, they could have been killed. They could have been. It's like, but you're
Right.
using it as an example of me could have been killed when I wasn't killed.
Right.
That's a proof for me, not for you.
Yeah, people are like, he could have had a heart attack. And it's like, well, no, he didn't, and he couldn't have.
Yeah.
Does he have a heart thing?
I guess. But also,
Pretty
like,
convenient.
also like,
Pretty
whatever.
convenient to have a heart thing. But okay, let's not get too into it.
yeah, he was like in front of my kids and was like, Joey Diaz was like, when I showed up, you had a bottle of fucking Tito's that you were trying to finish. Don't act like you were about to go to church with him.
Yeah, dude.
You were gonna get blackout drunk again. Like,
Yeah, if anything, you might hug your kids now. Just kidding. Hey, we're just kidding.
we're just kidding.
We're just
But
kidding.
anyway, the response there was like, "This really sucks." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, shit. I feel that actually makes me feel bad because it's
I don't
not
want anybody being hurt, and also extend
Right.
physical monetary damage. So like, I'm not gonna say you cheated on your chick.
right.
So that's like, it's like, oh, that's a real life interrupter.
Right. Yeah. That nothing that really fucks with your. Yeah, because there's some stuff where you're like, well, I'll never talk to you again. Whereas, like,
I can break my arm. I can't break your arm.
yes, exactly. But there are some things like if you shit in your hand and threw it, like in my, like even on my, if you just shit in your hand and hear it, I'd probably still talk to you.
Shit in
That's
my
how
hand.
that's how much I like you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, dude, that's a new couch. It's fucked. And at that point, I'm about
You'd
to
actually-
all right, here.
Actually, you'd
Get me a
probably
new one.
help this couch out. This couch is a
Yes.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
Shitting in your hand would actually do this couch some good.
Well, the fucking bed bugs are dead.
The bed bugs
bad
couldn't
they
even
are. They
survive
come
in
in
here.
and die, yeah.
Oh, my little friends all died.
The bed bug burial ground.
Now, that's good. You like that?
All right.
Where do you get stuff like that?
On the corner.
That's where you went?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
back
You
it
like
over.
Sunnyside? Nice, huh?
Is
That's
the
what this
neighborhood?
is, Sunnyside, yeah.
New Ecuadorian place
Where's that?
on that main street,
Yeah.
4 doors down.
Oh, maybe I'll go check that out.
I asked. I was said, "What's that? How long?" He's Ecuadorian. I was like, "What time are you open till?" He goes, 3 weeks. And I was
There
like,
you
"Oh,
go.
well, congratulations."
Yeah.
I mean, like tonight they have encebollado on Fridays, on Saturdays and Sundays.
What does he have?
It's like it's fish soup, but it doesn't taste fishy at all. It's like a breakfast soup they have in Ecuador.
Yuck, 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 yuck. All of this sounds disgusting.
Cebollado.
Do
No,
they
it's
have
really good.
cheeseburgers? That's my question.
You don't want to get from there, but they do.
They do?
Yeah, hamburguesa con queso.
What's your favorite food? Hamburguesa de queso?
No.
What?
What's your favorite food?
Hamburguesa de queso.
Really?
Yeah, fucking cheeseburger, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite like that. I don't like that word favorite.
Favorite sucks.
Oh.
People say favorite.
What's one of your favorite food?
One of your favorites.
What kind of foods do you like? But not like favorites. Like, oh shit, this is like a real question now.
Yeah, do you
Who's
exercise?
your favorite comic? It's like, oh, I mean, depending on the day,
Oh yeah, really does depend on the day.
right? Like I go through a phase of this, and then a phase of that.
Yeah. Sometimes I like the clean, sometimes I like the dirty. Do you exercise? What do? You don't
A
exercise
bike, a
at
walk.
all.
But like, that's just fat exercise.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Nice little walk.
Yeah, you get a lot of
30-minute
chicks in New York with like nice legs and asses just because of the steps they gotta walk up. Even if
Yeah.
even if the fat's like a smooth fat from fucking.
Oh, you know what I
Right.
love? I love walking upstairs and the girl is walking above me. Oh, that's some of the best shit in the world.
Follow her to the door and hold it open when she's like,
Yeah.
"Can I
Excuse
just
me,
talk to you?
miss.
Can I just talk to you?"
Yeah. You go, where are you going? Where are you coming from? God.
My old two places ago, I tried to be understanding of like what women were going through, the fear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There was this chick who was like a quarter block ahead of me, and then she's like, "Oh, she's going to my apartment. You gotta like walk slower,
Right,
and then
right.
like pretend you're fumbling with your keys so that she can just get in safely. So you know, like I'll get in behind you. It's like, ugh.
Oh, but then you hear stories of women being like, yeah, some guy just said he liked me on the subway. So I was like, all right, fuck him.
I saw a video recently. Some guy said like, I'm so horny. You look so hot. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so hot. Like, can I suck your dick? And then I sucked dick.
Is this just a porno?
It is. It is.
I saw this crazy video
No.
where someone was
It's
it was
documentary.
someone's boss told them that they could leave early if they blah blah blah.
This
Now,
one chick was trying to sell this house hard.
what's your favorite kind of porn? Oh, sorry. What's one of your favorite types of porns?
I used to like POV a lot.
Of who? Who's POV?
Well, it's weird. Cuck porn is the weirdest one because it's against, like interracial. It's like, okay, I'd be into interracial sex. I want to watch interracial.
Sure.
You know, barely legal. It's like I'd be into a barely legal girl, so it's like, okay, I want to watch that. Or old porn. So it's like,
Right.
okay, I'm into older chicks. Watch that.
Yeah.
Cuck porn is weird because cuck porn, you're watching someone else be embarrassed watching their wife or girlfriend get fucked.
Right.
So you're like, it becomes voyeur porn to the watcher.
Yeah.
You know,
It-
it would have to be POV of like your hands tied up and like, no,
Right.
don't.
Right.
You know, it'd be POV cuck
the
porn.
GoPro's right here. He looks at
Mhm.
his watch.
Yeah, or point of view of the guy fucking while like someone like
Right.
you're like, oh come on, don't. Like
And I
that,
bet there is
that'd
that.
there has to be that.
And you know they don't have barely legal anymore. They don't call it barely legal anymore. There's like a different way because that shit's kind of like,
they go just
now
past
I don't
illegal.
know. I don't know.
It's called that now.
It's just illegal.
Just past illegal.
There's also teen. You can just write teen, but they're never teens.
I used to do drunk. I'd see a few drunk slutty girls like fucking, and now they're like, we don't do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like, possible.
They really
right?
got rid of some of the best stuff
Some
in
of
the
the
world.
best.
Now, why get rid of that? You need that. I understand. Look, okay. I understand when something is.
Sorry, everybody listening at home.
You're not sorry. Now, when something is, I thought you were going to do a magic trick like that. You put it in, you go. Oh. When something is, to me, that's reactive or that's proactive and not reactive or something. What am I trying to say here? If you get rid of, they're getting rid of the drunk girls
Reactive.
having sex, right?
Yeah.
You could do that. You can put your feet up. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
They put let's go. Let's get normal. Now there's these videos of drunk girls having sex.
They're gonna
They-
block this.
They
It's gonna focus on our feet.
well, everybody's like, guys, you gotta wear shoes. Oh,
Dick is bigger.
I bet your toes fucking suck.
No, my toes are pretty good, except the pinky
Except the
toe
sixth one.
cuts in and under.
Ew, dude.
Yeah.
You ever get hangnails?
Yeah.
Oh my
You rip them
god.
out, but sometimes it rips out too far. And you're like, fuck.
Oh god, and you know it's coming.
It's like
when you go
blood,
like, and you're like,
and you're like, I just got to get it out. Oh, it's gonna pull
Yeah.
all day.
Anyway, I'm saying like if you get rid of drunk girls having sex or revenge porn or whatever, aren't the people that are really into that, aren't they going to go to another place to try and get that?
Nightclub.
Like a nightclub, maybe have sexual assaulting.
I don't think so. I think it's a lack of understanding. Like, this isn't making anyone do it. It's just like fun to watch. Fairly
Maybe.
legal. It's like
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some guys who are into you know how like sometimes like 23-year-olds will look like 15. They just have that weird baby look.
Yeah.
Guys are into that because they don't want a fucking 15-year-old, but they just like turn.
They want that baby look. Yeah.
Yeah, but from an adult, they're not like crazy people.
No. They're just like I
Don't
like
victimize anyone.
clear skin and pigtails.
Yeah, and
I get that.
No pubic hair yet.
Yeah, like I know guys that are into older women.
That's
I don't get that at
disgusting.
fucking all.
That's disgusting.
Older, and that's just not just older women, older men too. If a woman is into older men, that's so
my
gross.
friend said she was into older chicks, she's lesbo, and she's like, it hit me.
Yuck.
She was like, yeah, I'm an older chick, like, 15 years. I was like, and it hit me because like that's what I would do the opposite way. I'm like, oh, well, older. I'm like, oh wait, ew.
Yeah.
What are they, 60?
Yeah, dude.
You can't even help but like viscerally react. Like, ugh.
Oh man, I have a friend who his wife he's 36 and his wife is 52. And he was telling me that where he was like, he's like, my wife's a little bit older. She's 52. And it just took everything in me because we're not there. If you said that to me, I'd go, ew, gross.
Yeah.
I'd say it right to your face. But it took so much in me to not go, oh, disgusting.
Why would
I have to
you
be
do
like,
that?
well, as long as you're happy. Yeah, gross.
As long as you're happy, doesn't matter what everyone definitely thinks.
Yeah, that's the way you got to start saying things now with that little bit of to make someone go like, huh? Wait, what did you just say?
You want to hear how to piss off a comic without having to like get them mad back at you?
Yeah.
Dude, you're my second favorite comedian. And it would drive them crazy. And they're like, who's number one? And it's like, that second favorite of all time is a huge compliment.
Well,
but it makes
yeah.
them so mad.
See, I don't get that. If I heard second favorite, I would go, oh, that's really nice.
You're one of
I
my
mean,
favorite comics. People love it. They assume they're not first. Or
Yeah,
you'd
of
say
course.
favorite. So second is the highest of...
yeah. It really depends on who's saying it. Like if you said it to me, like you're my second favorite comic, I wouldn't even believe you. I'd
You'd
be
ask
like,
who number
what?
one is.
I would ask
You
who
wouldn't
number
ask
one
number
is.
3.
No, who cares about
Yeah.
number 3? I wouldn't even think out of 3. I would think out of 2.
Right.
No, I wouldn't be. But a lot of people when they get into second place, they kill themselves. The person who loses, not the third place. The third place doesn't kill themselves.
Because they didn't have a chance.
Second place kills themselves a lot because they were this close.
Yeah, losing in a championship of a season is like way worse.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite comics? I know that question's kind of corny.
Yeah, like
but
nowadays.
yeah.
I am enjoying that the dearth of actual like great comics in New York.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones, and so like when I started watching comedy when I was like in high school and stuff, we didn't have cable.
Yeah.
It was like whatever was on the Tonight Show, and then like on Saturday nights on Fox, they had Live from the Laugh Factory.
Right.
And
Oh, that's
so-
awesome.
Yeah, and so it was like 5 comics there, 1 comic on the Tonight Show, and you'd see him. You're like, oh my god, that was so fun. I would just tune in when there was comedy on. One guy I worked with ended up working with like 15 years later. He did a joke. It goes, saw a bumper sticker that said, "I'm following Jesus." So I pulled in front of him and just started waving to everybody. And
That's fun.
Skip something. And I worked with him at DC Improv. I was emceeing it. And I
Yeah.
was like, how long have you been doing that joke? He goes, oh, forever. I'm like, I
Yeah.
saw that on the Tonight
Yeah.
Show a
Yeah.
long time ago. I've
That's
never forgotten it.
hilarious. Whoa.
Yeah.
That happened with and we'll go back, but that exact thing happened with I was watching. So like Sherrod Small has that like the helicopter joke, right? He does a thing where he goes like this with the helicopter. It's his big closer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a funny joke, whatever. And then I was watching Comedian, the documentary, and in it, which is from like 2000, 2001,
2001, 2,
You-
yeah. 2000.
Seinfeld's being interviewed, and in the background, he's like being interviewed by the steps
the
of
cellar?
McDougal.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And in the background, you can hear Sherrod going, tick, 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 tick,
Wow.
tick. And I'm like, wow, that guy's been doing that joke forever.
Yeah, back then I thought it was really cool that I found the guy who made that joke.
Yeah.
And now even saying it, I'm like, oh damn, you've been doing that joke for 15 years. It's-
Right.
oof.
You haven't retired. I mean, as soon as you do it at the live at the Laugh Factory, it's like, retire it. Right?
Yeah.
It's on film.
Yeah.
Retire it. Get rid of it.
But since I liked all these different comics instead of like one big ones with HBO ones, it was like, I guess that's also what I'm into now is just like seeing like killers at New York Comedy Club, following
Yeah.
somebody, watching their last 5 minutes, before
Yeah.
you go on and just
Yeah.
like, Jesus, I'm going to have to
Being
work
like,
tonight.
"What?" Yeah. Yeah.
And
Do you
they're
have
just like,
anybody in mind? Any names?
this guy, Tommy Brennan, I just saw was like funny. I was like, well, okay, not bad.
Oh,
Um,
he's a New York guy now?
Yeah, I think he might have
Oh,
in Chicago.
he's like a young dude, right?
Young and short.
He's got like nice hair. Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, kind of a homo.
Oh yeah,
Like,
well,
in-
everybody's
in
a
here,
homo.
not like
No, not really. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
The guy's a
Um,
total gay guy,
total gay wad.
but not inside.
Not inside.
But
but like his
About
vibe,
him.
yeah. I'm trying to think who else I've seen recently. For a while, like a few months ago, I had to follow Tyler Fisher like 3 times in a row, and certain comics counteract other comics really well. So like, I might be able to follow you really well, but then have trouble with this other guy who you can follow that other guy great,
Right.
and I can't. It's just like, so anyone who does what I do better, like Tony Woods I do natural. He does natural better.
Right.
So his conversational style is so him.
It makes
when I go
you
after
look
him,
like you're on
I
paper.
seem like contrived,
Yeah.
and then it's like, and my jokes aren't that good, so it's like, what is this?
Right. It makes you seem like you're on
Yeah.
paper and you're performative.
And a very likable person. I'm quite unlikable on stage. So you gotta,
Are you?
I gotta go to a dark place with you. You might like me, but I'm not likable. He's happy-go-lucky, friendly. As soon as
Right.
like, I like this guy.
Tyler?
And so then it's like, yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
I followed, bombed hard at the Village Underground. The next day I was on again after him. I was like, fuck. And I was like, oh, this will be good for me.
Yeah,
It
gotta
was like
learn.
3 times in a row. And by the third, I could do okay. And it was
Yeah.
like, it's tough follows. You get that all the time here.
Oh
But
yeah.
Simonson, Adrian.
Simonson is a tough follow.
Yeah. But
Because
there's
they
just
want
good
more of him.
comics
He's
I
so
like.
he's
Uh-huh.
such a good comic and he's so likable
Yeah.
that people just want more of him. And then you go up and you're like, "Hey, look at me, an American," and everybody's like, "Boo, we
Boo.
hate that.
Yeah.
We
If you
hate
follow
that." Be
Maz
from a different-
Jobrani, he'd bring his like fan base out 'cause he's Persian. And
Okay.
I'd go on after him at the store, and the crowd that came for him when they finally got him, there's like 5 comics before,
Yeah.
and then me, and they're like, you just tell, they're like, you're not Maz. I'm like, I know, I'm not trying to be Maz. I'm friends with him though.
Yeah.
He gave me a good
He has to
introduction.
he has to give me the fucking. What does he have to be up here
It's like,
with me?
Be Maz more.
Long Island crowds feel like that. Long
Sometimes.
Island they feel like they're like, even if fucking Kevin James or whoever isn't there, they're like, you're not Kevin James.
Yeah.
There really is like
Yeah.
a make us laugh kind
I
of
like
vibe.
you. I like watching you.
Oh, thanks for saying that.
Trying to think. Well, there's just like so many people, so it's hard to focus. But like the all-time guys, I went through phases of Louis, of Bill Burr,
Yeah. Now,
of Chappelle.
is there anyone that you did? Are you is that what you're talking about? Like,
No, I went
is
through
there
phases of
anyone
like
that you-
watching everything they did.
right? Totally.
Like, that's my number one guy. Instead of like, I love all these guys.
Oh yeah, I've
It's
done
like-
that with all those guys too. But was there anyone that when you started you were doing?
Yeah, occasionally, Brody was a hard one.
You would do Brody?
Yeah, and I had to, it was happened so much because it's such a infectious delivery
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Not going there. We're gonna.
You would do
Come-
that.
yeah, buy my box
I
of
can't picture
shit.
you doing that at all.
Yeah,
dude.
it was just like we would talk like that off stage, so it just
Yeah.
led through. It was like when Madonna went to England, she started having a British accent. Remember that for a while? And you're like, you're not British.
yeah.
But she's
dude.
around and she starts emulating it.
Yes, you fucking yes.
I had to get my friend David Taylor to like, hey, anytime you hear it, just interrupt me.
right,
So I'd be on stage. He'd be like, "That's Brody again." I'm like,
Right,
Thank
right.
you, thank you. I need to shake this.
I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect anyone besides him to do him.
Yeah, it was just like that direction. People did Al Madrigal a lot. I never did. When
Yeah.
Attell would come to the store, and he was so fun to watch, but rarely he
Right.
would come back then. And my jokes would be written for the next 2 weeks in the Attell style.
Like, yeah, you'd be like, which
Yeah,
what's
it's
like
hard
a
to
way
even
of
do.
it's hard to even do right now on the spot. I call it because
Yeah.
of duh. People are still doing that. People do Louis, they do Burr,
Yeah,
they do all that shit.
yeah. So, trying to think who else is like I just like really like. There's just so many good comics.
There's so many great comics.
and we
It
live in
feels
the
good.
number one city by far for stand up. So it's like,
Oh yeah, you don't think Austin is
no,
catching up?
they're not number 2.
No, Austin feels like they're
It's an
like,
exciting scene.
It's an exciting
It's,
scene.
it's like when
feels like a
it's like
festival.
when Caitlin Clark was playing it for Iowa.
Yeah,
It's like, but she's not as good as WNBA players. There's more hype on her.
right,
People will tune in more for her Iowa games than a WNBA championship.
right,
But even now, she won Rookie of the Year, but she won't win MVP.
right.
know?
Yeah,
And it's like, so she's the most exciting,
but she's not the best.
but the other ones are
Not the
like
best
better
at
than
it.
her. Yeah,
right.
And
Right.
she probably will be the best, but it's just not. So Austin is this.
Are we still
new-
talking about Austin?
Yeah,
though?
it's this new electric scene that you want to talk about a lot more.
Yeah.
New York's been around, so it's not exciting right
no,
now.
it's not exciting.
You know, LA's on the decline, so it's even less than exciting, but it's still a great scene.
Oh yeah,
London's a great
LA
scene.
still is a good scene.
Yeah.
Who's in
It's a
LA
sh-
that you're like, oh my god, that guy's a fucking killer?
Well, so I don't go back much, but all the guys, it's easy to like, oh, they suck. I'm like 5 years passed since we were all there regularly.
yeah,
All the 7-year comics are now 12-year comics.
right.
And
so they're probably
crushers.
great. Yeah,
You just don't know them. I got in a fight
Right.
with DeRosa about New York. He goes, He goes, "Oh, those scenes, those lineups suck." He wants to justify him not going up ever. And he goes, and he just like sent me pictures of the cellar, the cellar lineup. I'm like, one, we both know the cellar's not the best anymore.
Sure.
You know, some of the times they're like, oh, these are some pretty shitty comics.
Right.
But also, I'm like, one, you cut off the last two comics, and they were like Morrill and Ethan Simmons Patterson, whatever.
Right.
Like,
Right.
That's two really good
Both
ones.
killers.
And
Yeah.
two, like, dude, that guy's really good, and that guy's really good. It's like, I've never heard of him. Like, right, because you don't come to clubs.
Right.
My point is, you just follow killers all the time.
Yeah.
And you were saying, I've never heard of them. Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's why you got
There's some great ones on
you got to
here.
keep your ear to the streets, they say.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, black people, but
Yeah.
you got to keep your ear to the streets. You know, I also say that. I also knew a kid, one of my best friends, a Mexican kid, he had a shirt that says, keep your ear to the streets.
Damn.
So I live my life by that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Teardrop.
Is there anything you want to plug before we close this out?
Oh, have we started recording? I thought this was like legal.
yeah, I didn't smell your fucking stupid finger for nothing.
I thought you wanted to.
By the way, we're throwing that microphone away. Nicole's on Amazon right now looking up cheap microphones. We could go a little bit
looked
longer.
over her shoulder. She's on stopmenstruating.com.
We can go a little bit longer. This is fun. Unless
I
you
got a
don't wanna-
special coming out
Yeah.
January.
What,
Got a big tour starting in
now,
January.
is this the special that you were like working on a special and then, or am I doing this backwards? Like you were working on the special and then you started doing the Jew tour, Jew special.
Yeah.
And that one kind of took a shelf, or was it? Am I thinking about this backwards?
Backwards. Jew I did for like 2.5 years,
Yeah.
and then COVID hit. COVID stuff happened. I couldn't record it. I was like, I'll record it in 3 months, and then
Right.
the world shut down.
Dude,
I'm like,
I think I
fuck.
almost got you killed, by the way.
Why? When?
Well, when the Kobe stuff happened, I was working at New York Comedy Club as a phone guy,
Oh,
and you were supposed to be there.
you must have
That
taken some threats.
it was all day.
Yeah,
It was
crazy.
all day.
It's crazy how dumb these Laker fans are. Like, I'm mad at this guy. Let me threaten this guy or some woman answering the phone.
It was all fucking day where I get a
They're
call.
threatening you. That's how dumb they are. Like, how will this affect the guy who already did this? By the way, he's not still doing this thing. It's done.
It got to a point where I knew exactly what they were going to say because it was all day. And towards
were
the
they
end of
saying?
the day, I would go, "Ring." I go, New York Comedy Club. Yeah, and I go, here it comes. Here it comes. And they would go, they wouldn't even pronounce your name right. They would go, yeah, man, is
They
that
saw it written.
is that guy Arnold Shaffir? Literally that. Arnold Shaffir would be a lot of it.
So they had on the thread of that tweet.
They-
People
yeah.
use that like, hey, here's a number. Hey, he's gonna be this guy. They use that as a place to gather to
That's
to revolt.
crazy.
That's how dumb they
dude.
are. That's why they took them 200 years to get free because they couldn't fucking organize. So they're just like, here's one. They doxed my old phone number that I'd gotten rid of 4
An
months
old
before.
phone number.
Yeah, I
How'd
changed
they
my-
even get it?
I changed my phone number. The other one was like, we researched it. Here's his phone number. 213 area code, or maybe 323. LA area code.
Yeah.
So they're just calling not me. By the way, probably a Laker fan. If he lives in LA. They're just like, fuck you, respect Kobe forever. He goes,
Right.
I do. I'm sad he died.
Right. You don't get that it's a fucking kind of a bit.
That's how fucking dumb they are. They can't even do the research to make sure you're doing it right.
Right.
They doxed an old address. Whoever lived there got fucked. I'm sure a window, fucking basketball through the window. Yeah, it was wild. It's
Yeah.
calling New York Comedy
calling
Club.
New York Comedy Club because you're supposed to be
threaten.
there to be like, I just recommend. And at a certain point, I was getting fed up because I was like, they're calling a lot. I like you.
Yeah.
I don't like people bad talking my friends.
Also trying to silence the arts. It's
Right.
weird. It's
So
like-
I'm going, and I feel like I almost got you killed because I was starting to go, do it, pussy.
Yeah.
Do it. You're not going to do shit. Like I started saying that on the phone. I'm like, you're not going to do shit.
That's what I do.
You're just talking shit. Do it, pussy.
It's so
Come
fun.
by.
It's so fun. You
And-
got there.
Yeah.
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 Because they're not gonna. You realize they're not gonna.
They're not gonna.
And also, I've been, for the Amazing Races, I got death threats 15 years before.
Yeah.
So I'm used to this. It's just all talk. It's just all talk. They're not
Yeah.
even there. Like, I'm all by, like, I actually see, it says you live in, the best one was like, come to North Carolina, I'll kick your fucking ass. And then, like, 10 minutes later, they wrote back, like, oh, okay, I see you're in Charlotte right now. But if you come to Greensboro, North Carolina, I will kick your ass. And I'm like, dude,
yeah.
you shot your shot.
Yeah, idiots.
Yeah, and people are like, I'm going to come to my town, I'll put a bullet in your head for the Amazing Race and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, my tour schedule's up on this site.
Right.
You had me ball, I would go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd wait like 2 years, and I look at old messages trying to find something. I'd see a death threat. I'm like, hey, how's that killing going? You said I wouldn't live the month. It's been 2 years. I'm sure you had some
That's
personal stuff
awesome,
going on,
dude.
but any
That's
chance of that bullet in the brain?
Yeah. You go, by the way, you keep them updated. By the way, I'm still going to be in Charlotte.
I've done it recently where I've gone way back to find something, or it organizes by like top for the message request, and I see one like career's over, and I was like, hey, just sold out the beacon, just so you wanted to know.
Right.
Just so you know, that career over is freaking great.
Dude, now that is the key to these comments and stuff, because we're getting comments all the time. The key is to go, okay, I'm putting you in my little Google folder, my little Google Docs. Your handle's going to be there, and I'm looking you up with every new thing I get.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to you.
Occasionally I'll go, if they're not private, someone's like have their wife in there and then the kids, and I'll just be like, hey, your child Jimmy is really cute. Did you still go to that school?
Dude.
Like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, yeah. You do know you just threatened my life.
Right.
So I'm obviously not going to look them up, but I'm like, you feel insecure.
Thing. I do the same thing. And they take down my comments. So someone will go like, but yours is a little bit more friendlier, I guess, in a way. It could be.
Yeah, you got to make sure they can't read it.
Right. Where I'll threaten the children and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just literally be like, I'll comment on their thing. Like, your kid is ugly.
Yeah.
I hope he dies.
I'll heart all their wives' pictures.
Yeah, your wife's a pig. I've put that on.
Hey, does your wife still work at FedEx in HR? You know, like I can get her fired if I want to. If I send 100,000 people to call her office and say she's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
So great, your wife's fired now. Is this what you want to do?
Yeah, is this what you want?
Because you're angry, you're just like dumb.
Yeah, you don't realize
dumb.
that you got yourself into this.
I get it too. Everyone's just characters. They don't think it's real people.
No.
So it's just like, we're on the side of this bad character. And it's like, I remember when I got with Cecil the Lion. Remember that guy?
No.
This guy killed a lion. Do you remember it?
Oh, right.
The
dentist.
Black mane. Yeah.
The dentist. Yeah.
And everyone's like, fuck. I remember talking to a cab driver and like, that's fucking bullshit. He goes, I know. I can't believe that. Fuck that guy. And then you do a little more research and they go, no, they sell 30 lion killing like permits a year. We raised all this money for conservation. By the way, that lion, if he has a black mane, that means he killed over 30 lion cubs to maintain his position in there.
Whoa.
And also, like, people are like, yeah, my brother got killed by a lion. I live in Zaire.
Right.
Like, they're not as cute as you think.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he actually got a permit from the government.
Right. There's a permit.
Yeah, and they limit how many. And so it's like, oh, yeah, I heard the story different. And I'm just like, I fucking hate that guy. He's just a character.
It's so dumb to
the
be
the guy who caught a foul ball for the Cubs.
Right. And then his life is ruined. And it's like,
by the way, we all would have tried to catch that. You're
right.
not like this. You're like, wait, where's the fielder?
Yeah. You're like, who? I mean, just trying to get mad, like being mad at everything is such a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, it's like funny.
I
They're
hate it.
Christ shit in their bio.
Yeah, it's always
Living
that person
for
that's
a,
like,
a capital H him.
right. And then you want to be like, and you think it's clever to be like, oh, I guess you're not living for Christ right now. But then anytime I'm starting to type that, I'm like, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
I would say sometimes with the Amazing Racist ones, it was funny because this is all she telling about stuff. I got one that was like, fuck you, I'll kill you if I ever see you. What you did to those Mexicans was terrible. And I wrote back just going like, driving to like INS, picking them up to fix my deck, then driving straight to INS. And they're like, that's fucking crazy. They're hard workers and you treat people like that. And I was like, hey, just so you know, like, they were all actors.
Yeah.
I gave them all $50. And then we took them back to where we picked them up from.
Right.
They all got paid. They all signed up. That was a library in Van Nuys, not
Right.
an INS building. And they go, okay, well, I admit I did find it funny at first. That's a good explanation. I'm like, wait, so you went from legitimately instinct to laugh to then go, oh, I think I'm supposed to be mad.
Right.
And then writing like, I'll fucking kill you.
Right.
It's like, but your real reaction was the laugh.
Right.
So all these threats, all these whatever, it's like, you're just playing pretend. You're doing
Yeah.
it publicly. And I know that because I've never once in person gotten even a, hey, fuck you for that.
Really? You've never gotten a fuck you for any of the stuff?
Nah.
No one's ever like, hey man, fuck you from far away. I recognize you. Fuck you.
Yeah, no. I had a few black guys when I got back from Ecuador going like, hey, it's a Kobe guy, Kobe. And I was like, can we take a picture? I'm like, oh, right, you're 19. You didn't grow up watching him.
Yeah, they're like, that was so funny.
That was
My
funny,
uncle was
yeah.
so pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny to see people that mad about some guy that you met. I took a lie detector on skanks. They're like, do you regret that? I'm like, no, we were killed.
Did you take a picture with those guys?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, all right, that's nice.
And how did the lie detector come up?
I was telling the truth.
Amazing.
I don't regret it. Yeah.
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 What is there to really regret? Nothing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't love the consequences, but like, you gotta do funny stuff when you find it funny.
Right. I mean, to be honest, the fact that like you've only had an outrage for like one thing really is
No, a bunch of stuff.
What? So the Amazing Racist.
He's
The
racist.
Kobe.
Yeah, there was a special where I like.
Oh, the arm girl.
Yeah, they called it name checking someone. I'm like, wait, what is
Name
what?
checking.
That's a new term.
Did she sue you?
No. What's sue what?
I mean, well, you said her name on a fucking thing that she didn't agree to.
Well, we go to court and they'd be like, oh, she does smell. You're right.
Yeah, and then they fucking check your belly button.
Yeah, no, it's just all like titles and stuff. Like, like headlines and people like, fuck
Yeah.
you. Even the comedy community is like that for that one. That was like, they're way out of line. I'm like, I held your hair while you barfed in a fucking.
Right.
I don't think you don't know me.
Right. That was so funny though, dude.
Hey, remember when you fucked your friend's boyfriend?
Right.
Like, this shit I know. It's like, so just so you know, you're coming after me morally. Just so
Yeah.
you know, you would talk to her about this breakup she's going through while you were fucking him.
Right.
So, okay, great. No, you're better than me.
Right.
You're better than me. No,
Right.
totally.
Well, that's what happens with that moral shit where it's like, you better not have fucking
points out.
anything.
It always points out, and they always look at their own things like, no, that's different. I was joking. Like, right.
Right.
So Kevin Hart was just serious?
Right. Anyway, I
Anyway.
don't want to keep you, dude. I'm happy you came by.
We got a special on YouTube right now called Jew. Thanks for having me, and congratulations on the new podcast.
You like it? You think it's better than Here's a Scenario?
Interesting.
You gotta say yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you asked me a real question. It's a
Yeah.
different vibe.
Look, yeah,
The four of you with like topics and like segments. It's a totally different type of podcast. I was trying to explain to somebody. They were like, I don't know if I should do podcasts. I'm like,
Right.
you should. He was like, well, I'm like, well, I can understand you not wanting to share who you are, but there's two different styles of podcasts.
Right.
There's Morning Zoo styles, like Skanks, Your Mom's House.
right,
There's interview styles, which is like Rogan. He does a mixture, I guess.
right. I would say this is a little more interviewy. What
Yeah,
do you think this is?
interviewer with comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because about us.
We're just
It's-
talking,
Yeah, instead
yeah.
of like, it's like, did you see this in the news today? Like,
Right.
we're making fun of it.
right,
And there's also like weighing in on subjects, but it's like, that's rare. That's more Morning Zoo, to be honest.
right.
So Attell excels in the Morning Zoo one. He didn't want to share anything about himself.
I get that.
He just like, you're not going to interview me.
Right.
It's just like, he didn't say that, but it's just like, you're not going to get to the bottom of him.
Right.
His only truth is, I like a well-written joke.
Right.
Um,
Which I'm so down
Yeah.
to talk about. I love talking about well-written jokes.
and then you want to be like, how did you get this form? I was like, that's me.
Right.
That's me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I am the complete opposite. I'll say my dad's full name. I'll say everybody's full names and ruin all their lives. I'm like the Walter White of
I stopped because I realized like, oh, people are looking people up now.
yeah.
Before it was just something you're saying, it's fine. And now it's like, oh, you assholes. Most of you get it. Occasionally he's going to just, like, they went after one of Shane's exes because
Oh.
he mentioned that she dumped him in like 10th grade. She's some teacher somewhere, and they found her.
That's
still in the
so
hometown.
weird.
And they're like, guys, do not reach out to anybody in my past.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
Right. I would hate that.
They're just
so
like,
much.
I don't know. They're not even like, they're just not thinking it through.
Yeah.
But this is more of an interview one than what Scenario was.
Yeah. Scenario was
a Morning Zoo.
Yeah. It was, I guess, Morning Zoo kind of thing, like a game show.
Yeah, segments and
That's kind of how I feel about and I don't want to talk about this too much because I bitch about it all the time. But I feel like the thing I don't like about crowd work comics, besides me feeling jealous of their success and my ability to not really do it, even though I can do it, I just don't really
Yeah.
want to.
I'm with you. I don't either.
They feel like they don't feel like comedians. They feel like game show hosts. They feel like they're doing.
Who's been in a threesome? Who's been in a threesome?
They're doing what Steve Harvey does. You ask
Mhm.
a question, the person answers, and then you go,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that.
Whoa.
That's the bad one where it's like the only joke is their response and not
Right.
yours. But then I like the crowd work where you're just like talking. You're like, one time I fucking jizzed in my face or whatever it is. Like,
Right.
you ever jerk off, then it comes up and you're like, wait, why'd you look at her when you said that?
right, yeah, and then you
Like,
can get into it.
Yeah, and that's just like real Big J style crowd work.
Yeah,
And it's like, it's you're not fishing for it. And it's like, you would never, it didn't come out of anything to say who's been in a threesome.
right,
That's just
Yeah.
Q&A shit.
right. It's clip farming.
Yell out topics and I'll
Right.
like riff on it. And it's like,
Yeah, it stinks
you're
too.
doing that during your show? It's like,
a well.
somebody was like, I do it during the check drops.
right
Dead
check
right,
drops.
like,
You start doing
okay.
crowd work and stuff.
Change the game. At
Or
the
you
Cellar,
do, like,
everybody
your-
yells
your
on the road,
dirtiest
like, when's
joke.
our time? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah.
get time. I wrote these.
Yeah, no, your time is to sit.
But did Jew for a while, went out. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh, weed, I can get back to stuff. Then went to Ecuador, whatever, came back. I was like, that shit's done. I'm not doing it anymore. I already toured it everywhere. Did this other hour for about a year. And then Segura was like, you should, it's a shame not to film that one.
yeah. I'd
I
say
mean, maybe
that's
right. So then I went back to Jew for like 8-9 months. Got it really good
toured
again.
it.
Yeah, tightened it way, way, way up. It was so much better than it.
Were you touring that
broke.
in comedy clubs, or were you like, let's hit some temples and shit?
No, never that. But I did it all over the world. I did it in places where there's no Jews.
Like
So the-
where? Africa?
Perth, Iceland. With like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then like Boston, Chicago, like
But it worked.
I'm not Jewish, but I know what you mean. I've heard
That's
of
so
Passover.
genius, dude, because you're
You
able
got to
to
make it work there.
You got to make it work there.
Yeah,
So
'cause
you
it's
start
like-
changing the way you're saying it. And you go, it makes you go like, well, in the Jewish culture, there's this. So you get more stuff.
and then punch up that even
punch,
instead
punch,
of-
punch. Yeah.
Yeah, I met an Israeli comic a couple days ago at the cellar. They were walking by. Like, we're all comedians from Israel. I'm like, oh, cool. Asked them what the vibe was like and stuff. And they were like, how did you get the crowds to understand? Were they all Jewish? I'm like, no, I'm mostly not.
Wow.
He's like, how? I'm like, well, I did it in places where like, I was like, I don't know your mom, but you can do a joke about your mom. You just have
Right.
to set her up.
Yeah, you set it up. You set it up like my mom is a
My mom
bigger
was- yeah, she hates
blonde
yeah.
woman that hates da-da-da. So now here's the
Mhm.
now those candles behind you.
Yeah.
That was hot. Why? Right? Was that hot?
Ugh.
No.
It got hot in the venue because the AC wasn't great. I just actually went back to the venue yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
And she was like, AC's kicking now. And I'm like, well,
You're
good.
like, well, that doesn't
Good. Had
help
a nice,
me.
cool night.
Yeah, you go.
It was
I'm
like,
glad.
fuck, what the fuck?
Dude, did you buy the same outfit twice? How many
I
tapings did you
always
do?
do that just because I taped 4 in 2 days. So
Yeah.
if anything spilled on one or if I
Right.
ripped a button, it's like you
Or
just
the
got
sweat or whatever.
Yeah, you got to have it. You can, and I do return one of them or both.
You returned them?
Oh, yeah. If I don't try on the second one,
Now that's
I'm
the
returning
real
it.
Jewish
oh,
part
no,
of
no.
it.
So it was too hot. It was too hot in there.
I
I saw people 10 minutes into my act on the second show
oh yeah.
sleep like passing out.
Wow.
It was sweltering.
Jesus.
And I was like, hey guys, we got to do something. And the producer's like, well, I mean, we had a good tape. I'm like, no, don't. It's all right. We have 2 more tomorrow. I'm not
Right.
mad, but
Right.
that was unsustainable.
Yeah.
We got it in the first. Second one got tough towards the end. The last half was like, of an hour and a half one was like, the energy wasn't there.
Yeah.
We got to do something. And it wasn't hot out. It was like 75 degrees is the high.
Fans?
He sourced over a Saturday night, sourced 10 portable air conditioners, the ones with the big fucking that goes outside.
Right. Yeah.
And we was like, get them, and we just ran it all night, all day until we keep that door closed.
Yeah.
I talked to the sound guy, Matt Duva, one of the best sound guys, and he was like, play it, okay, now play it loud. I'll play it on high. He goes, you can play whatever you want. I can take that.
That
It's
must
steady,
have
so
felt
it's like I
good.
can take
You're
that
like,
out.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then what felt even better is only paying the restocking fee to return them all. Because they were like, it's going to cost like $10,000. I'm like, bro, I have fucking 200 in this
Keep the
already.
receipts.
I'm going to waste all this. I got to
Right.
save this.
Keep the receipts. Yeah.
Lost like $700 on the stock. That's it.
Oh,
They're
whatever.
Like, actually, turns out we don't need them. That party's not going to happen.
The party's not going to
Yeah.
happen. The party that we needed 10 huge
Yeah.
air
We
conditioners
were returning to a
for.
guy's like, I actually, I'm not John Best Buy. I don't care. You can just sure return them.
So now you're doing this new special. You're taping this.
Yeah, so in that a year and a half, I guess, break.
Yeah.
Well, half was just gone in Ecuador. I was doing other material, so I was already building stuff up. So, and plus the leftover stuff from Jew I didn't put in
Right.
anything. Like if I had a joke about somebody shitting on my front stoop, I'm like, that's not going in
You're
Jew.
not. Yeah.
But I'd run it at the cellar in the stand for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, when I just got sick of that stuff.
Right.
And so I had all that, and then I just pieced together another like idea, theme, and then pulled in the bits that like
That's great.
But,
So
like-
how long's the gap between Jew and this next one going to be?
should be out January.
So was that a year?
November 22. No, 2
years?
plus. Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, and I really, and probably 2 years to the taping. 2 years later for the taping, June taping.
Wow.
Yeah, but also like I had a year of running it before,
Right.
you know, and then I had all this left. So one of the bits in there is 8 years old.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
So when people are like that's quick, I'm like, no, it's not like that.
And you're not bored of any of this material?
Some now, but now it's like sweet. I've never done it again. since
Right,
then. So it's
right.
like it's just like it's like working hard your last week before summer break. Like I'm going on break soon, so I
Right.
can commit to this.
Right. That's fucking awesome, dude. Where are
Yeah.
you filming it?
I did it in Washington D.C.
Oh, you already filmed it. In
Washington
DC.
did a capital turnaround.
DC's different. You should have
What?
started like that. You should
Well,
have
it's all
just done
about-
all the Chappelle DC material that he did on Killing Him Softly. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
It's a lot
You're
about
like, is
ignoring
Ari
politics
doing-
in the news. Yeah, I should just do all
You
that.
go, DC's different.
This is different. That's right.
Not yet.
See it?
Yeah, let me see.
It's so I had a meeting with Eric Abrams. And he's like, "So what do you want to do for this one?" And I was like, "Well, the way I see it, the special last time was great, but the look of it was
Yeah.
crazy. So we either go just white background, nothing, or we gotta beat it." He goes, I go,
White
buddy."
background is correct. What are you, Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, just in like a whatever.
I don't know what that meant, but
So this is all about getting back to basis, getting off the news, just staying positive.
right.
Kanye's a big part of it because I'm like,
Oh, you
Well-
have this great bit, like I don't want to ruin the bit, but that whole Kanye thing that you're talking about,
yeah,
that's so great because I thought of that too. Like, I mean, obviously not as a bit, but like I had that same
a
thought. I
theory.
think as a theory, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
it's like, why are we watching his? What are we listening to his tweets?
Right.
His music is the best, and it actually
Right.
legitimately, the answers got me into some of his albums that I hadn't discovered. I was like,
Right.
let me hear what the fuss about. I'm like,
Right.
damn,
He's so good.
that gospel album is so fucking
Yeah.
new way to looking at gospel.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the shit, it was like so good.
And I mean, not to ruin the joke because I don't know any of the jokes, but the premise is like, why aren't we cool with being like our celebrities being crazy? Like,
Oh,
these,
right.
these
You want
geniuses.
crazy.
You
For
want
artists,
people to be
you
crazy.
want crazy.
Yeah, you want artists to be crazy. Like,
I was
shouldn't
doing
we
that
just
bit.
allow that?
There's a art gallery show in like Soho
Yeah.
or Lower East Side below Houston. There was, I forget who ran it, but anyway, little stage like this wide,
Yeah.
and then some paintings everywhere. And I was talking about that, how like they're all lunatics. All the best artists have always been lunatics. Van
Yeah.
Gogh and like whatever. And I was like, turned behind me some like abstract whatever. I'm like, you think the guy who made this was just like a
Yeah.
cool member of the community? Like he's fucking seeing things.
Yeah.
Always talking to people that aren't there.
Yeah, and we like congratulate it.
Yeah.
Let me see.
All about getting back to basics in nature.
Wow.
And just like getting off all this shit. And
That's
just,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that. The stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say much. I
The
don't want to
wide.
ruin it. Is this the full special?
Yeah.
Looks great.
I'll take out that time code, but I want to see
Dude.
a wide. I can show you that looks.
This
you
looks
really
sick.
get the fucking.
This looks like Poison Ivy's lair.
Costs a lot, and it took a lot to set up and design.
How much could flowers cost?
Dude, it's so expensive.
Flowers?
Yeah, and all those plants and stuff.
You look like
kidding
you're in
me?
a fucking rainforest cafe.
Yeah, yeah. All real plants. They had to like spritz it in between sets and overnight. It was crazy. They went so far. The company was like, "I'll pay this much. Let's do it good." But then they got like, "What are you trying to do?" And I'm like, and then they're like,
That's
"Oh,
beautiful,
Let's actually
dude.
go."
Are you still getting into like producing other people's specials and stuff
I
like
did
that?
Adrian's. Hers is out November 12th on Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Shout out Adrian.
yeah, if I really believe in
Dog
someone,
Belly too.
Dog
right?
Belly and
Really good.
Sal's.
Oh, and Sal's too.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Terrified. If I like believe someone, I think they need help getting it where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's like producing is a different thing. It's like I'm trying to get people ready. So with Adrian, it's like, got to work on this joke, got to work on that joke. I'm not just like calling the lighting guy.
Right.
I'm like, this joke is the same format as that. I'm just telling you that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or like, definitely like making sure it's like comedy friendly, the taping, because they'll just like kill half the seats. I'm like, he's just not going to kill
Right.
half the seats.
Right.
We did it at the Cellar, and it's like there's no space for cameras.
Yeah.
And we found out what Aziz did and what Ray Romano did. And like, those are mistakes.
Right.
They're massive celebrities, so it didn't matter. But like,
Right.
she needs a full room.
Yeah.
And luckily, Louis, the director, was like totally on my side.
Mm-hmm.
We killed under 12 seats. And I'm like, if it's 12, that's the limit. He goes, not even that. I'm
Yeah.
Like, no, we found places.
Wow,
We
love
pulled out
that.
a bench in the back. And like,
Love that. Would you do it in the VU?
no,
McDougal?
Cellar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so good.
That's fucking sick.
But yeah, a lot of it's like find your rank your bits, find what's like, let's say you have 10 bits,
Yeah.
find what's 9 and 10, work on those until they're like 3 and 4.
Right.
And then now the old 8, it's 7 and 8, now they're 9 and 10, work on those, make them 3 or 4.
Right.
And so like, and
The
then
old
like,
Louis C.K. model.
yeah, lose this, lose that. If it's like bringing your if your average is an A minus, you have an A and some B pluses, like, and one B minus, like get rid of the B minus.
Right.
Your average is a little higher.
Right.
Especially
Right.
now with no time limits.
Yeah.
No difference between 48 and 58.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
You can just put one out that's like 42.
Yeah, so it's like one joke didn't work. If it's not a theme or an arc, it's like lose it,
Yeah.
save it for next time. It's not done.
Dude, it's sick.
Yeah, just going over all that shit with them. Like, where are you touring? Okay, are you doing it? Are
Yeah.
you running that?
Right.
Where are you running in town? Who are you following?
Right.
Like, seek out the hard spots.
That would give me agita
Yeah.
as the Jews say.
But I mean, I did that with like Doug Smith.
Doug Smith, yeah.
When he was running his story from my show. And it was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would show up to the New York Comedy Club. Like, no, that's too fucking long. The setup's too long. And I was
Right.
like, you just keep working it. So
Yeah.
I guess that's producing, but it's also like,
Yeah.
I want a new title for it.
What, for the storytelling show?
No, for what I'm doing for these people.
Gonna make up your own little title?
It's not producing. It's like different than that. It's getting it done, making it better. I don't know.
Yeah. The getting it done role. Making it better. There's got to be a
maker
one
of
word.
dreams. That's what Leah said. But
Dream maker?
yeah,
You're the dream maker.
yeah,
Ari Shaffir is the dream maker.
yeah. It depends. So for different people, it's different things. For Sal, I had to help fill up the room at the Vic,
Yeah.
and then organize his like touring and go over the bits with him. Adrian, she's a better writer than I am, so not that, but it's like corralling Louis, making sure he's like available and getting the right rooms. So we don't do Mothership or Cellar.
Right.
And then having for her, I had to call some clubs and be like, "Hey, she's doing a special. Can you do me a favor and book her? I know she's on your radar.
Right.
Like, I really appreciate you like having her.
What, like off nights or weekends?
Weekends, the guys like Adam Norwest and stuff. He'd be like, I get it. Okay, I have some openings. I'll put her in them.
That's
sick. And he has like 5 rooms, so he's like, I get it. That is important. It's not just a whatever. And I'm like, also, if she hits big off this, she's gonna be incredibly loyal to you.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna move to a theater the next time she comes. She's like, no, I love that
her
club.
out. Yeah.
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 So it's just different things for different people.
Whoa. Oh, maybe I'll hire you.
Yeah, if I have the time. No, that's the other thing. It takes so much work.
It does.
Sal was like, I want to pay you. I'm like, well, I figured out my rate. It's $60,000.
All right.
That's how much work it takes. I'm doing it pro bono for you, Sal. That's a freebie as a friend. Should Big J and Adrian too. But it's 60. Oh, also Adrian needed someone to pay for it. So Sal didn't need that, but Adrian did. And I was like, we'll just get it. My business manager's like, what? I'm like, we'll get the money back.
Right.
I'll figure out a way to get the money back.
What if I just gave you a nice hug?
I mean, it's a lot of work that I'm doing.
2 hugs. There you go.
Okay.
2 separate hugs on 2 different
I'll at minimum
occasions.
go over everything with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not ready for that at all, but maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, if you're thinking of a few cities where you might do it, don't play those cities.
Why?
Because then you're not going to do it there.
The market will be.
So you have to ahead of time be like, oh, we got you in Chicago. It's like, oh, that's actually my list. Like, let's hold off on that.
Right. Okay, well, I'm not even close yet, so.
Right.
Anyway.
So yeah, somebody did ask me to help them, and they were not an everyday comic, and I was like,
really?
I don't have the time, but it was really like
not an everyday comic.
You're not a full time comic, and this is just for.
Was it like a younger comic, or was it like someone like a?
No, imagine like I'm trying to think of just a guy who does comedy sometimes. But I'm like, no, I need you going up 6 nights a week,
right,
for like 6 months.
It was like
I'll put my name on this,
like someone who's in the comedy world that doesn't do stand up.
Yeah, they're starters, but it's like, they're not fully.
Was it Joe Gatto?
Yeah, someone like that.
Yeah,
it's not, but like someone like that. It's like, oh, you've done comedy, but that's not what I'm talking about. I need you to be a real fucking comic.
Multiple times a day, night. Bro, yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, then you have no chance of making it great.
Yeah, because then it's like, exactly.
All those actors who do one,
right?
Like, no, I toured it for like 3 months. It's like, we're not even on the same page. We're not even talking the same language.
Right.
We're not 2 weeks away from where I want you.
It's going to be a grueling process. You're like John Taffer. You're like he's the bar rescue guy.
Oh.
You're like that. Truths. You come in and you rescue bars.
Governor Brown from California was like, "Hey, I'll balance your budget. You are not going to like what I have to say. I'm not the charismatic leader. I'm the guy who fucking sells you single ply toilet paper from now on."
You're going to come in and go, "What am I, an asshole?"
Yeah,
that's John Taffer.
Oh,
Perfect John Taffer impression.
That's pretty great.
I wish you knew who that was.
I do now. We'll be right back.
All right, it's done.
The Rap Jack Black and Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rescued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the pod, an odd fellow, the great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice. So recognizable, ski massive, unreliable, diary of a guy who's higher than a freaking diving board. I'm tired, call me biting you as slang cause you align with your wardrobe. Give that back, you ain't that guy, bro. Kaleidoscope stripping, goddamn I'm tripping, sipping shroom tea, looking at a blank television. Got a girl here gripping Big dog, I'm on shirts now. Still scared that my house is gonna burn down. I'm a rare card, an old Charizard. Getting BJ's on a bench of a promenade. Don't know what to do, I got a lot of problems. Lot of emotional truths, I menage them. I'm getting robbed every time I get a coffee. Cause $6 is just too much.
Keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. But all you do is wrong.
Dream team, me and Galeen and the 4 Beatles. Kidnapping whores illegally, pumping them full with needles. Eating Chinese till Steven asked us to order a pizza. Walk to run to get it, I can't do either. It's Sagdaddy the pod, don't think twice. Just bob your head, dealing your chicken with no rice. It's Sagdaddy the pod, and on God I won't stop. Unless I wanna, that's kinda the deal, huh? It's Sagdaddy the pod, no need to deviate. Your ears are not the only holes that I'm about to penetrate. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so thanks for tuning in. Truman Show flow, if I don't see you, you can suck my dick.